Good morning. So, as you can see, let me see. I'm trying to remember which way. So, my husband is here in spirit. This is something I've been working on him doing for a while now, and I just can't get around to doing it. It's not even halfway done. I mean, this is just the preliminary uh, uh, painting of him, but so anyway, I have this morning has been crazy because he's not here with me. We've had so many technical difficulties and interruptions that I'm hope this isn't going to be too scattered and stuff. So my light just wasn't working this morning. It was just massively dark where I normally do. So all I did is turn my camera around to the opposite side of my room, so you're getting to see the other side. And this is only a temporary place for us. This is not home. This is, I mean, it feels like home, but it's only my husband's a travel nurse, and so we're going to only be here for probably another 6 months. But you know what I love about this? This is the first time we've had a townhome. We've been traveling for 24 years, and I've stayed in uh, less than exciting apartment buildings, which I'm not super excited about, or I've never been. I've kind of not really fix them up because, what do you do? It's like putting a lipstick on pigs. But this is a townhouse, and I guess after doing it for 25 years and having it's okay to splurge once in a while, and actually, it wasn't any more than our other house. It's just in some places in the United States, you can get really, really nice stuff for the same thing that you can pay an arm and a leg for and get a really bad thing. Like, apartments in New York City, these little nasty holes in the wall that are like, studio apartments can be, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a nice home cost, a 3, bedroom home in Texas. So anyway, okay. So, but another thing I wanted to point now, how do I do this? Okay, there. I gotta quit looking at this and look at my house. So these are, oh dear, internal. I'm trying to think what they're called. I can't remember, but they're shutters that are on internal on yours. I just love those. I'd never seen them before we moved here, and I'm super super. I do love them. So okay. Anyway, I hope that your day is going as well as mine is, because you know what? That never bothers me. Delicious. There are my sister came and visited me this weekend, and we were discussing how I can survive in chaos. There are people that survive in chaos, and there are people that need lots of order. And I am one of those people that I love order. I prefer it. The older I get, the more I'm less able to handle chaos. But I do thrive in chaos. I'm okay. I can handle chaos. So anyway, I've just enjoyed the beautiful morning all to myself with, I'm never happy that Arthur's gone to work, but I try to make the best of it, and I think, okay, what wonderful thing can I do today? So I'm going to do the reading, which he normally does, the Catholic reading, and I'm not going to do the whole one. I'm just going to do the gospel. Now I've got to figure out where it is. I got to pull the gospel up. Okay, there it is, right there. Okay, so the gospel. Okay, today is the feast of Simon and Saint Jude, the apostles. So that's Saint Simon. Now that's not Peter. That's the other Simon. We always often forget there was two Simons, Simon Peter and just regular Simon. So, and Jude, Catholics, we love Jude because he is the one that takes care of us when nobody else. In other words, he is the saint we go to and ask him to pray to God for us full time in heaven, over things that we think are unsolvable. Saint Jude, take care of all our problems. Go to the Lord and implore with him day and night, something we can't do. So anyway, thank you, St. Jude. I use him so much because it does seem at times it seems like you know, it seems like everything is unsolvable right now. Okay, let's go to the gospel. It's Luke 6:12 through 16. Jesus went up to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When the day came, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he also called apostles. Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Simon, who is called a zealot, and there's another James, Judas, the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. So we've got several. We've got two Jameses, we've got two Judases, and we've got two Simons among his disciples. We got some doubles, and it's really beautiful because uh, in the lectionary, which is the readings of the day for the church all over the world, we're all supposed to kind of be united in our prayers and our readings. So even though, okay, so what I do is I read the daily, but then I also read. Arthur and I have been reading through the Bible together for many, many, many years, and so when we became Catholic, we didn't want to give that up. So we do the Catholic readings and also our own readings, our own little homemade liturgy in the morning. I know that's probably going to send some people into epileptic fix. We have our own, but we did it since we were Protestants, and so I'm sure. But what is interesting about the lectionary reading today? It's number 666. So anyway, and so interestingly, the psalm, the responsorial psalms talks about how God has got everything in his power. He's created the world. And when we look at it, because we try really hard to read the entire Bible through the eyes of the Gospels. And so when we read that today is a special day of talking about God getting disciples, think about all the things the disciples were to do. They were to send the message throughout the world. His apostles, his 12 chosen apostles, are the foundation of the church. That's what the Bible says. They are the foundations in Revelation. So the foundations of the 12 of Israel, and they say the apostles are the pillars or something like that. So we always have Christ as the cornerstone, but it's upheld through his people. The Old Testament was, of course, Israel, and the New Testament, it was opened up to the whole world, and it was the apostles. And so in our responsorial psalms, we say, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament proclaim his handiwork. Day pours out the word to day, and night to night imparts his knowledge. So our response in this is their message goes out through all the earth. And the beauty of the world is sent through the message of the apostles. So anyway, and then the Te Deum is, we praise you, O God. We acclaim you as Lord, and the glorious company of apostles praise you. So anyway, it's all tied together. They always try to tie the theme together. And so today is about the apostles and their authority. So I tried to kind of discuss that in what we're going to be talking about this morning. But I do want to real quick have an aside. Okay, there's so many wonderful uh, YouTube videos by Catholics on this. So, I'm not going to say much, but just please, Joe Heschmeyer has a great video out there that he's done, and it talks about why Christians need to reclaim Halloween. I mean, this is ridiculous. We're ceding all our property to the pagans and to the unbelievers. We gave up the the word woke. Jesus kept saying, "Wake up, wake up." And so the humanists took the name woke. I mean, said they're woke. Well, no, we were supposed to be awake. Christ called us to wake up. And so anyway, we need to reclaim that. We need to reclaim the rainbow flag or the rainbow anyway. And we need to reclaim Halloween. That is very specifically a Christian day. It's the night, it's All Hallows Eve, and the next day is All Saints. And then the next day is All Souls. And so we need to bring that back. How do we do that? Make it about Christ. It's okay if you get a little bit of scary, because the truth is there are times when we need to think about death, and we need to think about what's going to happen, what is going to happen to our souls once we die. And it's okay to dress up, um, in costumes that reflect our Christian heritage. So just make Halloween about Christ. I'm having a Halloween party, and we're having a costume party. And my husband is going to dress up as uh, Saint Olaf, who is a Viking warrior. So he's got this really cute costume that we bought online for him. And I'm going to go, and I don't have a good costume for Saint Teresa Benedicta. So I'm just going to go as a saint. I'm just going to, because I've got stuff for that. I do that every year, so that's okay. I'll just use what I did before. And the people are coming are encouraged to have a theme of, Christ is the theme of your Halloween party, and we're going to play games. And of course, it's a lot of children, so we're gonna play. I don't know. I haven't figured out the music, but we were going to play musical chairs, and maybe put on some eerie sounding chants, you know and it's going to be so much fun, and we're going to play games, and make it wonderful and God related. So anyway, all right, so make it about Christ. All right, now I just blew this big time, but I'm going to try real hard to soften it now. So I had a close relative come here this weekend, and it was marvelous. I love seeing my family. I had a big family growing up, and I talk about this all the time. So sorry. But we're getting, we're losing people because I don't have a chance to do this every day. And so the YouTube algorithm just dropped me completely. So they don't even tell me. Have had that message many, many times lately. Nobody even says that you're going live. It doesn't announce when we're going live. It doesn't announce when we're putting out new content. But we are. It's on live. Go to our homepage, our YouTube channel, and click live. That's what we've been doing a ton, lots and lots of new content, but it's all on live. And for some reason, they're not. I haven't done it lately, and we're just about to get worse because all November we're going to be gone. In other words, I can't do it. We're gonna let me see. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna do it. Who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe there will be an opportunity for us to make some content on. And I hate to say it. I hate to say content. Like it's just anything thrown out there. And for some people, it really is. It's just anything thrown out there. But I really, really, really don't want to say something unless I have something to say. And I'm not even saying that what I'm saying is that great, but at least I do a lot of research into things before I talk about them. And if I'm not doing a lot of research, I'll tell you, hey, this is a question I have. So anyway, okay. So I'm afraid there's not going to be a whole lot of new videos in November, and I'm very sorry if that upsets anybody, but I don't think it will. Okay, so we had this close relative here this last weekend, and she is not a Catholic, she's a Protestant. So we had a lot, not a majority, but a lot of our discussion is about Catholic and Protestantism, which is so great because she's a reformed. And this young woman knows what she's talking about. She is like me. She is a stay-home mom, and now that our children have all grown up and left us, hers just recently did. She's pretty much a brand new, I mean, a completely, now her children just got married, and she is now kind of reaching that point in life where you're just like, wow, I have poured my life into my children. I have poured everything. And you step back and you just go, wow, this is crazy. Now I have to start a podcast. Anyway, sorry. That's just my own little joke to myself. Okay, so you've got to find something to do. And since we constantly move, I really can't get too much involved in our church because the minute I've tried this, the minute you get involved in your church and you say, okay, well, I'm here for 3 months. Can you utilize me for 3 months? And that pretty much rules out most stuff. So it doesn't work for me because you never know. Arthur's contracts for nurses, travel nurses, are only for 3 months. And so you never know what's going to happen. And that's the way our lives have been for 24 years. So, anyway, all right. So we discussed Catholicism, and she brought up some stuff that kind of surprised me because she really knows Catholicism, and she has done some research into the Catholic Church. But sometimes I wonder, even, and I know she actually tries hard. She doesn't just go to Calvinists who used to be Catholics, because that's some of the people she goes to. And she does go to the catechism and she does go to online stuff. But it's really hard when in America we have certain assumptions, we have premises that are indoctrinated into our brain. And so we have our debates based on erroneous premises that, at least for Catholics, they're erroneous premises. Remember, the Catholic Church was around uh, for how many years? Let's see, 17, what, 1,300 years. We have 1,300 years to have developed our doctrines before the Enlightenment came and said, oh, free speech is the most important. The separation of church and state is the most important. And they changed all the premises of Christianity. And so it's all Protestant premises. And so when we as Catholics try to discuss our beliefs on sola scriptura, sola fide, and Americanism, and modernism and Americanism, it is impossible. You just cannot get to a true premise, we can't get to truth on a false premise. So it's very difficult. And so what she does is she does a lot of research, but it's very difficult for her to understand the true Catholic premise. And I'm going to be honest, I have been a Catholic for over 10 years. We came in 2008. So what is that? Wow, 15 years. So I'm now still understanding things deeper and richer and with more understanding, because it's like a 1,000 piece puzzle, and you can look at the picture and you go, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. But as you're putting it together, you go, oh, wow, I didn't know that Luke 12 worked with Matthew 16:18. I didn't know that when Jesus broke the bread and distributed it through his apostles, that he was starting the idea of the economy of Christianity, and that I didn't understand that the promises of God were for his church, Really, you have to be in his kingdom to be able to avail yourself of so many of his promises. Not to say that God doesn't give abundant uh, graces to to Protestants, but to Catholics are the promises. So anyway, and I'm not saying Vatican II said Protestants are Christians. Stop with the Protestant bashing and the fear of Protestantism. There are Christians, and they make the Vatican II documents are so beautiful when it comes to Protestantism. And I'm a Novus Ordo Catholic, but who loves the TLM, and I'm planning on going when I can move to somewhere near the TLM. I love the veils. And I don't understand all the whys. Peter Kowinski, I've listened to him, and I love so much of the TLM. Just love it, and my family loves it. But we don't live anywhere near TLM, so we don't go. But I'm happy to go to both. But the church is approved of both, and I'm just so happy to be Catholic. So anyway, all right, now back, because I do this, as you will notice, when I don't have a script, I'm going to go off on rabbit trails constantly, and that's just the way my brain works. So anyway, so my dear close relative, who is a reformed, she was talking about the by banning the Bibles. Okay, sorry. There's a window, as you can see. It's a window. Wait, hold on. No, there. Okay. There's a window right there. And there's often weird things going outside my window. It's a beautiful neighborhood, but it's very busy. It's a very, very busy neighborhood. And so there's constantly things going on outside my window. Why did the Catholics ban Bibles? And there are so many Catholic YouTube videos out there that could answer this way better. And this is not something I've done very much. I mean, I've looked it up and I've studied it a little bit, but I'm not an authority on this. But my understanding, and please watch the videos. Joe Hashmeyer, Trent Horn, um, uh, Brian Mercier. There's so many wonderful, and I'm sure I'm missing out on and then Father Mike Schmidt. I don't know that he does this, but he does a lot of stuff that explains Catholicism to Protestants, and they do such a good job. And I'm going to do such a rotten job, but I can tell you that from my understanding, that there was never a time when the church got together as a ecumenical council and said, "We do not want people to read their Bibles or they will fall away from Catholicism. Please, priests and bishops, close and chain the Bible up so no one can read it." And that's dumb because the Catholics spend the entire, even if first of all, most people couldn't read throughout most of Christian history. I keep this in my hand. I haven't had a sip because I want to put it down. Okay, so through so it wouldn't have mattered if everybody had Bibles or not. They wouldn't have been able to read them. And so the churches themselves, if someone walked in a church, you're supposed to be able to see Bible stories in stained glass and on beautiful murals. And not murals. I know there's Giotto did the first, and I can't think of the name of it. And I taught art. They did it. Okay, my brain isn't working. I'm thinking about too many things at once. So anyway, okay. So the readings, they read from the Bible in church. The prayers are from the Bible. When you walk in a Catholic church to the time you leave from Mass, you are bombarded with the scriptures. And so that's how because they had daily Mass. When you have daily Mass, you go in and you are given scriptures. So to say that we banned the word of God is just simply not to understand Catholicism. And then, okay, so she said, okay, well, it doesn't matter if you banned them or not. Well, you chained them up. Okay, and understand the chains. Okay, chains on a Bible is exactly like, and you guys wouldn't even remember this, but when I grew up, you had, if you wanted to call, you had to go to a phone booth. You had to call your parents. You didn't have a cell phone you could pick up. You had to go make sure you brought your dime or your quarter. So no matter where you were, you could go find a phone booth, and then you put your money in and you dial things up. And if you forgot a phone number, you would have to look it up in the white pages or yellow pages. And so you these things were huge, and they were very expensive to make, to print, and it was for free for everybody. You didn't have to carry around a book, your own white pages to call everybody. So if you forgot somebody's phone number and you needed to call them, you'd get that and you'd look their name up, or the company that you were looking, and they had the phone number. Well, they had to chain them to the phone, because if they didn't, if they sorry, if they didn't,